Coming up on this week's news, Energy Secretary Ed Miliband throws industry authorities into chaos over his approval for plug-in domestic solar panels. The government gives Elon Musk the green light to sell electricity in the UK, and the alarm is raised over substandard kit after an electrician plunged 15 feet when his ladder snapped in half. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly, whether you're listening in the van, on site or down at the wholesale counter. I'm Joe Robinson and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. We're being lit by Flex 7 with their lightning fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp, and this week's challenge word competition is supported by the good people at Brady. If you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. If you think you've spotted the two words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win this exclusive cap branded with friends of the show Quickwire and Chump Tools. And while you're there, click the links in the show notes to check out what our sponsors offer. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband has given the green light to plug-in solar panels. The units are designed to be put in gardens and balconies and simply plugged into a standard socket. Miliband said the decision was in response to events in the Middle East which are set to drive up UK energy bills. The government envisages families buying the units at supermarkets and simply plugging them in. The approval follows the runaway success of portable PV in Germany, where they're present in over 1 million homes. However, the move appears to have caught the electrical industry by surprise. Both the IET and the Electrical Contractors Association scrambled to get out statements condemning the move. The IET's technical chief, Mark Coles, took to social media to point out that there's no international product standard for the units. He says what we buy from one supermarket may perform differently to something bought from another supermarket. He's also raised an issue with single-pole RCBOs. Under certain conditions, they can be compromised when sources of supply are connected to the load side. This isn't so much of a problem in Germany, as single-pole RCBOs are not common. He also says there could be problems in households with more than one plug-in solar pack. Normally, they would synchronise with the DNO supply and with each other, and if the power supply is lost, the units should shut down to prevent the circuit becoming an island separate from the grid. But in real life, they could see each other's power and continue operating. Equally, there could be an issue of two units on the same extension lead. He asks, would the pins of the plug be live if the extension lead is removed from the socket outlet? Finally, Coles is concerned about overload. In a circuit designed for 16 amps, the breaker is rated at 16 amps. The cable is rated at 16 amps, and 16 amps is being drawn by loads on the circuit. If you add in a PV unit, then it's possible that part of the circuit is carrying 18 amps, whilst the circuit breaker is seeing 16 amps. Coles says that the IET wiring regulations is a standard for the design and construction of electrical installations. It can't state what can or cannot be plugged in. The Electrical Contractors Association has also come out against plug-in solar PV systems. It says they pose serious safety risks and should not be introduced into the UK. Many of these products are cheaply manufactured, poorly tested and designed for overseas markets, not the UK's electrical systems. The ECA says that the technology blurs the line between a consumer product and a fixed electrical installation. By simply plugging into a socket, they bypass proper design, installation and verification. In effect, they shift responsibility away from electricians and onto homeowners. Fire risk is also a major concern for the ECA. It says the kit is often installed on balconies without any update to fire risk assessments despite introducing live generation equipment, cabling and new sources of ignition. There are also insurance implications. Many users won't tell their insurers. This could invalidate policies and risk rejected claims. And crucially, says the ECA, the payoff is minimal. The products will contribute very little to the UK's net zero targets while introducing significant risks including fire, electric shock and structural hazards. It says its message is clear. If you want solar, do it properly with a professionally installed system, not a plug-in shortcut. Other senior electrical engineers, however, say that the technology is unstoppable. Instead, they say the UK should get working on a standard for the technology. Others suggest the development could lead to a fifth amendment to the 18th edition of the wiring regulations. Apparently, we're some kind of an oracle, and because Gordon is a rebellious maverick, think of a Geordie James Dean, rebel without a regs clause, he's already carried out a solar plug-in installation to his own property and made a video from the process. You'll find a link to that in the show notes. And of course, we want to hear your view. Pop your comments below and naturally we'll keep you posted on developments in this area. In other news, Elon Musk has been allowed to sell electricity in the UK. The tech billionaire's company Tesla has just got its licence from the energy watchdog Ofgem. The firm is expected to copy its business in Texas, where it's known as Tesla Electric. There it operates a so-called virtual power plant that uses its Powerwall home battery pack to allow customers to both buy and sell energy. However, in the UK, that virtual power plant for Powerwall owners is offered through Octopus Energy. Tesla is expected to begin its marketing to UK consumers later this year. And while we're talking about initiatives receiving the green light, check out the brand new range of green eye motion sensors from Legrand's CP Electronics arm, designed with ease of install, commissioning and use in mind, along with 75% recycled packaging. They'll cut carbon, reduce costs and help you specify efficient, future-ready buildings. It's not just green eye, it'll help to make a green you. In other news, there's been calls for tougher laws on sellers of substandard imports after an electrician fell 15 feet when his ladder snapped in half like a dandelion stalk. London-based contractor Geoffrey Bogermans plunged onto a concrete floor when the telescopic ladder failed. His injuries mean he cannot continue in the trade, and he's shut down his business to become a full-time safety campaigner. He bought the ladder on Amazon, who he says have refused to accept liability for the accident. Consumer group Which says that over 100 telescopic ladders like the one he bought are still on sale on eBay, Amazon, Shein and Temu. A further 14 were fraudulently marketed or marked as conforming with relevant safety standards, said the Ladder Association. And while the government's Office for Product Safety and Standards regularly blocks dodgy ladders at the border, many are still getting through. Sue Davies of Which says ministers must beef up the law to protect the trade and they must prosecute rogue sellers. In promo news, Brother is offering up to £100 cashback this month for its portable label printer range. The PTE Cube lets you create, edit and print durable labels on the go using your smart device and Brother's special app. The PTE 720 BT model has been designed for electricians and features ready-made templates to help you produce compliant labels in seconds. Additionally, an auto cutter and support for pro tapes of up to 24mm lets you deliver professional results for your installation. The PT E920BT, meanwhile, is designed for network and data professionals. The device prints labels up to 36mm wide at a sharp 360 dpi. It's fitted with an auto cutter with half-cut functionality, which cuts the label but not the backing paper for faster, cleaner batch application. There's £50 cashback on the electrician's printer and £100 cashback on the network printer. I'll put the link to claim your cash in the show notes. In product news, ChumpFix is promoting its value for second fixing pendant lights on a ceiling. If you're not familiar with this clever bit of kit, it's basically a perforated piece of plastic about the size of a small ruler. You push it up through a 25mm hole, usually the same one for the cable, and then flatten it by pulling the handle. You then screw through the plaster to reach one of its many holes. This secures it nicely to the plasterboard and it helps to spread the weight of the light across the ceiling. It also minimises the risk of plasterboard failure caused by drilling near the edges. It comes in two sizes, 15 and 25cm. The company says it really comes into its own at second fix for pendant lights. This can be a notoriously difficult task as it really needs you to have three hands. However, using the second handle hole of the ChumpFix, you can suspend the light fitting and do the second fix with two hands for the first time ever. Just grab a cable tie, a short length of conductor or anything else you can think of. We're told you can even use bootlaces. If you've already installed your ChumpFix, a bent CPC is ideal to feed up and pull back through the hole. I'll put a link in the show notes to some videos Gary's made about all the things that you can do with ChumpFix. The ChumpFix is made right here in the UK, and this week we're taking a look at some other products that are too. In fact, these all carry the Made in Britain logo. It's a non-profit organisation whose work to unite, support, promote and represent manufacturers who produce products in the geographical territory of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Sheffield-based manufacturer Armeg has been making drill bits and other power tool accessories for over 50 years. A standout product is its Twister Impact Masonry drill bit. The firm says it's been designed from the ground upwards for impact drivers. It has a specially engineered SQS super quick spiral flute, which uses the machine's rotational speed to clear spoils super fast. The bit boasts a depth stop, and there's a carefully chosen size range to suit popular fixings in the trade. Crucially, the same impact driver can then also be used for driving screws and fixings. This is super useful when you're working at height. There's also an XL version of the Twister Impact. It features the SQS flute technology, but with a longer 110mm working length for through fixture drilling. Another venerable British brand is the Soho Lighting Company, whose class switches and sockets take refinement to the next level. They're hand-finished and assembled in Cornwall, no less. You can get them in no fewer than 12 finishes, from heritage-inspired antique and vintage brasses to contemporary silvers and white metal. Your customers can also personalise the accessories with the brand's bespoke engraving service to create one-of-a-kind pieces. At the heart of this craftsmanship sits a groundbreaking advancement, the UK's first dimming toggle switch. It was originally introduced to solve the long-standing issues associated associated with traditional dimming knobs such as buzzing, flickering, bad compatibility, and early failure. At the time, it was a complete reimagining of how dimming technology should look and feel. Built with top quality Enkin kit, the toggle dimmer gives a silent, flicker-free operation. Key innovations include compatibility with home automation systems, soft start to protect LED lamps, and built-in short-circuit overload and thermal protection. The multi-way dimming function allows lighting to be controlled from up to 20 locations using just one dimming module. This dramatically cuts costs, simplifies installation, and limits waste. Next up, Fast Amps has been making some noise with its Alpha 7 charger, and it's a bit different to what we're used to seeing. First off, it's designed and manufactured right here in Britain, which is still pretty rare in this space, but the real focus is simplicity, both for installers and end users. You're looking at a 7.4 kilowatt unit with a really compact form factor. For the end user, it's actually got a physical on button on the front, making it really simple to use. For the installer, there's Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and Bluetooth built in, so commissioning is straightforward. You can literally power it up, run your tests, and get it connected via the app in minutes. It also comes with dynamic load management as standard, CT coil included, plus solar compatibility, so it's ready for future upgrades without needing to swap the unit out. Safety-wise, there's pen fault protection on board and an internal 6mA DC detector, and the RCD is set to trip at 20mA AC fault current, meaning for small faults, it will trip the internal RCD before any external 30mA RCD. The idea being it will trip the charger before taking out the whole house. A really nice touch. Another standout feature, it uses a solenoid locking system instead of a motorised one, so if there's a power cut, the cable releases automatically. No getting stuck plugged in. Simple, practical, and very installer friendly. I'll leave a link to that in the show notes. Now, how about this for a bright idea? It's the Paul Russell's Lamp of the Week, and today we're giving a shout out to this decorative glow ball lamp with a super warm colour temperature of 2200 Kelvin. It's perfect for pubs, restaurants and residential jobs. It's got a smoked envelope to dial up that retro look. It's designed as an LED replacement for traditional 40-watt incandescent lamps. The lamp gives out the same output but only consumes a tenth of the power of the old lamp. It's got a lifetime of 15,000 hours. Now, it's that great moment where we get to celebrate the sterling work being done by the next generation. Our Learner of the Week slot is brought to you by XS Training with their online electrical courses for beginners and experienced sparks, covering inspection and testing, solar, battery storage, EV charging, and their specialism NVQs and AM2 online prep. And this week's learner is Antoine Mills, who's been putting in a seriously strong performance. During a week of work experience with Neilcock Construction, he got stuck into real-world tasks, everything from project planning and risk assessments to mapping electrical supply routes and even building Gantt charts. He's also taken initiative outside of site work, updating his CV and booking his CSCS test, which shows he's thinking ahead. On the tools, there's clear progression too. He's been sharing posts of his practical college work moving from basic PVC wiring through to more advanced wiring systems in conduit and different types of switching. It's that mix of practical growth, industry engagement and a proactive attitude that really stands out. Keep us posted on your progress through the industry, Antoine, and congratulations on being the eFix Learner of the Week in association with XS Training. Click the link in the show notes to view their wide range of courses. Now, if you're looking to break into the industry, we can help. eFix has set up a dedicated LinkedIn group for people training in electrical installation. It's aimed at apprentices, full-time learners and adults training in the evening. Just log on to LinkedIn and search for UK Electrician Apprenticeships and Career Support. I'll also put a link in the show notes. If you're an employer looking to offer work experience or an electrical apprenticeship, we can help too. Just reach out to the team at eFix and we'll do our best to connect you with motivated learners in your area. Another way we're celebrating the young people of our industry is in the eFix 30 Under 30 competition. It's now open for nominations, the process couldn't be simpler, and there's a whole lot of kudos if you get selected. So if you know someone special, you have until Monday the 13th of April to put their name in the hat. I've popped the nomination link in the show notes. And now, to the lighter side of the electrical news. Yes, it's time for a tea break with Quickwire and its range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. A robot electrician has begun fixing power lines in China. The humanoid has already repaired a live 10 kV transmission line, eliminating the direct risk of electrocution for human sparks. The bot is designed for what its inventors call high-risk critical interventions without putting workers in direct contact with live cables. The robot used precision laser cutting technology to remove the rigid insulation from the cables. Then it connected the branch cable to the main cable and tightened the necessary connections. The process is carried out with mechanical precision, without tremors and without risk of human error. The robot was developed by the Wuhan State Electricity Network. That's the lighter side of the news in our tea break with Quickwire and their range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. Click the link in the description to check them out for yourself. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, empowering their customers to harness power through light with their intelligent energy solutions, solar technology and advanced lighting systems, it's Ledvance. One of our favourite new innovations here at eFix, especially now it's in sexy new packaging. For rock-solid fixings in flimsier materials, don't just fix it when you can chump fix it with Chump Tools. And the best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra, PV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, it's Doncaster Cables. Click the links in the show notes to find out more about these great brands. If you think you know the words that I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFix goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after midnight on the Wednesday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition, as sponsored by Brady. Remember, if you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. Click the link in the description to view their incredible range. Last week's words were eyeballing and gruffalo, and it was always going to be a repeat winner this week, as the only people who got it right were those who'd won before. They must be dialed into my style now, and the name to be drawn out of our electronic hat is finally back to his winning ways, and Jen's going to complain at me because she's no idea what to send him. It's Mark, just Mark. Well done to you, Mark. Click the link in the show notes to claim your prize, sir. This week we've been lit by Flex 7 with their lightning fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp. Don't forget to click the links in the show notes to find out more. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque calibrated arm.